and welcome to your SHSAT Math Maintenance Problem a Day. So we're getting started with the first problem that I have set up, and I think it's really important for us to try our best with these. Remember, there are no calculators allowed. I kind of wanted to throw in all of the most common questions that I see on the SHSAT. So you've got about a month till the SHSAT. And if you think about it as studying like once a week, that's not that much time. But if we put in a little bit of time every single day, a little will really go a long way. So join me on this studying journey, and I am going to share my screen so that we can go over the first question that was assigned to you. All right, I'm pumped. Math maintenance, here we go. So this is a pretty common question that shows up on a lot of the practice tests that I've seen. And if there is not this exact question, there might be something similar to it. So we'll talk about some different ways that you can approach this problem. I'm going to read it right now. And the topic I would consider to be ratios and geometry, because you do need to know a little bit about geometry to best answer this question. The sides of a rectangle are in the ratio 5:8. The perimeter of the rectangle is 156 inches. What are the dimensions? That just means the length and the width, or the base and the height of the rectangle. All right, so I love creating tables when I have ratios. Tables to me are the best way to work with ratio problems because they allow you to kind of see a relationship between quantities and numbers. So since I'm dealing with a geometry problem, I would like to draw a picture first. And that's one of my little hints down here. And so they give me a rectangle and they just say that the ratio of the sides is 5:8. Now, there is an algebraic approach that I'm not going to do, but let's just say that the sides were 5 and 8. And I'm just going to fill in the rest of my rectangle. I know that opposite sides are equal here because I know 5:8 would end up being still in the ratio. You can think about it like 10:16 would be in the ratio. 15:24 would be in the ratio. But it could also be some sort of decimal that we don't know yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to myself, okay, if my rectangle was in the ratio of 5:8, what would the perimeter of this be? Well, I'll add up my sides. 8 and 8 is 16, plus 10, 26. So the perimeter is the sum of the sides, and in this case, it is 26. So here we go. We've got the length, the width, and the perimeter. I'm just going to write PER. I'm going to create my table to compare. If, let's say, my length was 8 and my width was 5, in this case, my perimeter would be 26. Now, they're asking me for new dimensions when my perimeter is 156. So what I have to say to myself is, how do I get from 26 to 156? Or how many times does 126, not 126, just 26, fit into 156? Now, I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm going to go ahead and do some multiplication, division here. Sorry about that. 26 fits into 156. I'm not sure how many times. I know that 25 times 5 is 125. So I'm just going to see what 26 times 6 is. I also know that 6 times 6 is 36. 12, 13, 14, 15. Look at that. Okay. So basically what we just figured out is that 156 is 6 times 26. That's known as the scale factor. So what we get to do is we get to multiply the length by 6 and the width by 6. And we get 48 by 30. Now, you might be saying, Leah, is there another way to solve this? Can I use the answer choices? And you absolutely can. So we know right from the beginning that the sides are in a 5:8 ratio. So the other thing that we could do is we can test out all of the ratios of these sides. And I'm just going to rewrite it as a fraction, 30 to 48. All right, we're going to say to ourselves, what are these divisible by? By simplifying, they're both divisible by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 48 divided by 6 is 8. There you go. That's our 5:8 ratio. And none of these will work. I would also double check to make sure that these side lengths give me a perimeter of the 156 if I was only using the answer choices as my option, because it could so happen that they give you a pair of sides that have the same ratio but not the same perimeter. They could also ask you for the area. And so this method here is good for the area because then you would just know that you would have to multiply 48 times 30. So I like ratio tables because it gives me all the information that I need. It allows me to see and feel the values, and I would just take it from there. So please let me know. My email is right here if you have questions. I really hope that you feel confident going into this test, and we will talk soon. All right, thanks for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow.